Good morning, everyone. How are you? How have you been? Is the question, really. Guess where I am? Again, I will turn this around so you can see. Ta-da! Oh, wait, there it is behind me, of course. I'm still in Albania. I've had a very interesting morning. I went to go and check in, and they didn't have a record of my flight details. So I had to book another ticket, which was quite interesting, and I thought it was really, really apt because today is day 3 of living your life in freedom, and day 3, principle 3, is all about being committed to your core values, being committed to you wanting to be the best version of you, being committed to living a life in freedom. And this morning, of course, the universe threw 2 situations in front of me where I had to test this out. So today what we're doing is we're looking at principle 3. We've already looked at principle 1, which is courage, and we've looked at principle 2, which is choice. So what does commitment mean? Now, I know that many of us have problems sometimes carrying situations through. So we start to procrastinate, or we kind of just struggle with following through. Like, follow through is a big thing. Like, you start something, day 1 you're really excited, day 2 New Year's resolutions, all of these types of things are hard for us to follow through. And I think that the reason for that is because there we go, we're back, signal. Anyway, we'll carry on. We'll try that again. So, the reason why we don't follow through, I think, is because the reason why we have started creating those actions or plans, the reason why we started creating them in the first place is not in alignment with our core values. Now, for example, I come to the airport and they don't have a record of my flight, and straight away what I did is I went into the head and I started getting upset, and I was like, well, how can this happen? Did they checking if they took the money out of my account? And went into this whole crazy thing in my head, and the woodlouse thing like Tim Dingle always talks about, because I had a certain expectation of how I expected my journey to go about. And I've had some time at the airport because I've been here for quite a long time. And today what I did is I did a bit of journaling. And here what I did is I drew out a particular picture for you, which I wanted to explain today about how I feel we need to be committed to our life and our experiences. So, for example, we know that we're the head, we're the heart, and we're the soul. And when it comes to creating our lives, creating a life is like building a house, laying bricks. And what happens is that when we are between the ages of 0 and 7, society and your parents tell you what they think you should do or how you should be acting. So what happens is you start to build kind of like a building block. You start to lay the foundation of your future life and what you're going to create in your future life. So let's say, for example, this is my mom, and my mom has a certain perception of how my life should be created. Now, what she'll say to me as I'm growing up is, all right, Connie-Lee, this brick needs to be laid, that brick needs to be laid, and all of these bricks need to be laid. So then what happens is my brain interprets that, and I start building my own house based on those bricks. So now that I'm 37 and I'm dealing with the situation, what I'm doing is I'm dealing with it through the perception of the house that I've already started building over the last 37 years. But the foundation of my house and the house that I've built comes from my mom, my dad, society, friends. Everything that we interpret from the outside of us basically gives us a new brick to lay the foundation of our house with. But we have the heart, and we obviously also have the soul, which is connected to the divine truth, which is connected to the truth of who we are. But then inside, we also have something that I like to call our core values. Now, your core values come from source, they come from your soul, but they are that which the human you feels is important for you in this life, so that you can honor your authenticity. So what that means is, when you are creating a new life, what happens is that if you start to lay building blocks from your core values out, your life flows a lot more. Now, I've just spent the last week at the Global Women's Summit, and a very good friend of mine, Anne-Marie, that shared the stage with me, we were talking about how the feminine energy is that of kind of like yielding and flowing like a bamboo. A bamboo has very strong roots. And what that means is that they have, maybe in this analogy, you've got many, many bricks that you've laid down. And even though the wind comes and a situation comes that you're not expecting, you know, your base is firm, and or even though you kind of get upset to start off with, you're able to bounce back because you have laid that firm foundation. So another example that happened today was we were standing in the line to check in, and of course we're in Europe, so people start queuing in a very European way. It's kind of like they just mob to the counter, and the English me, who likes queuing, was getting really upset, and I was like, what is this? What, are we not forming one queue? Why is there? And I put my bag out, protecting my turf, getting really passive aggressive, and I stopped and I thought, okay, so what am I committed to in this moment? I'm committed to going deeper and understanding what are my core values in this situation. And I thought to myself, okay, so the building block that I have over here of what a situation should look like is that we should be queuing, okay? Well, this is mine here. So we should be queuing. And that obviously comes from spending a lot of time in England and having been brought up in South Africa. There is a similar belief system around queuing. Now, of course, with the people in Europe, they don't care. They just kind of like, you know, I don't know, I don't understand it. But anyway, and I thought to myself, okay, so what is the core value? Just because people are not lining up in a straight line, where is the reflection of that which is not my core value? And I thought about it, and I thought, okay, well, for me it's respect. I thought and I felt that if people are pushing in front of me, what they're doing is they're not respecting me. And one of my core values, that which is important to me, is to respect. So if you have been following me, you know that I often talk about how everything is a reflection of that which is within you. So I had to think, right, I feel they're not respecting me. And I thought to myself, where have I not laid the brick of me respecting me? Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up if that resonates with you. The same thing with the ticket, them not having my a record of my booking. Again, I got upset, and I thought, well, what is it? Like, you know, what was going on over there? And again, for me, it was, okay, I'm not important enough. Like, I said, okay, well, you need to upgrade me because this is ridiculous. And the lady said, well, no, I can't do that. I can't upgrade you. It's like at least €1,000 more expensive for the ticket that you originally booked. And I was like, no, this is not okay. But I realized that by her saying, no, I can't upgrade you, and by the airline not having a record, I interpreted that as the airline saying to me, I'm not important enough. So I went back down here and I thought, okay, so a building block that is a core value to me is to feel important. So I thought, how can I make myself feel important in this moment rather than expecting someone outside of me to make me feel important. Give me a thumbs up if you're resonating with this. Actually, give me a heart, because this is something that's really, really important, because today we're talking about feeling committed, being 100% committed. And to me, what that means is that life is not easy. All right, all these external things happen all the time to reflect which of these where am I living from? Because if I'm living, all right, sorry, the signal is really bad here. If I'm that I